Oh, yes. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Trust the Tape with your friends Jeff and Brian. And which one am I?
My name is Jeff.
And which one is he?
Hey, Brian.
That's Bryan Broaddus, former Cowboy scout. I'm Jeff Cavanaugh from the DLS Cowboys podcast. You can hear Brian literally everywhere with Vach Lombardi. You can hear him on DallasCowboys.com. You can hear him on 105.3 The Fan. You can hear him on the Draft Show. You can hear him on the Love of the Star podcast. You can hear this man everywhere. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning. I've been invited to join the UK Cowboys, so you might hear me over in that part of the world here sometime soon. So we'll see if we can make some time for that.
Looking forward to it, mate. Is mate Australian or is that UK?
I think mate's an Australian thing. I noticed though in Formula One, when they talk to their engineers over the radio, they call them mate. So it might be a British thing too.
Okay. Every time that we do this show, because of the time we do this show, Brian, I noticed that I have to do something different with blinds over that way. I got to do something.
Yeah. You've talked about this since the time change, and yet to see any progress. But hey, how was the ski trip this weekend? Was it good?
Oh, it was great. A little Breckenridge, a little sneak away, because the way that ski trips work is you buy this little pass that has a certain number of days on it. We went to Park City, and a couple of my buddies got sneaky. They got away with it. They didn't get scanned a couple of days. They had extra days. So it was like, we have to take another trip, but you can't take off work. So we did a little quick Friday evening to Sunday evening jaunt out to Breck. Yeah.
How the flights for that? Is that pretty easy travel?
You fly into Denver and then you drive about an hour and a half.
I remember the old flying into Denver bit. So anyway, but yeah, good to have you back.
Yeah.
In one piece.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Didn't break anything, which is the first win. The second win is the amount of fireball you had and how do you feel after? And I would say I feel fine. And that's important. Welcome to everybody that's here. We appreciate you guys that are in the chat. Please hit the like button while you're here. Carrie's telling lies to start the chat. Jeff's clamoring for a running back at 12. Do you not know me? I would take Ashton Genty at 12 in a heartbeat. Any other running back, I will lose my mind if they pick a running back at 12. All right. This is one of my favorite parts of draft season because now it's time to start researching what the Cowboys might do and if they're going to tell us what they might do. We're looking for hints, and 30 visits are a nice place to get hints. And I have a friend who tends to be in the know about these things. Sometimes I'll catch a trickle. Sometimes I'll get a guy, and I'll know a guy before other people know a guy. Sometimes. Most of the time, I just kind of keep a sharp eye on what my friend is up to, and that friend is Bryan Broaddus. So Brian, if you could, what do you know about Cowboy 30 visits, and what can we deduce about the draft plans?
We got 14 of them, but man, we're just kind of we're on the struggle bus this year with this stuff, man. I mean,
good.
Cowboys aren't letting it out. Players sometimes will give you some hints where they are.
Everybody loves a picture with Jerry.
Everybody loves a picture with Jerry. Everybody loves a picture with Jerry. We all love pictures with Jerry. Hampton, North Carolina, Judkins, Ohio State, Henderson from Ohio State. Those are your running backs so far that we know.
No, time out. I'm a slow person. Who'd you say? Henderson, Judkins,
Hampton, Judkins, Henderson.
Okay. Now the thing I'm seeing about Tuten.
Tuten's in there too.
Okay, Tuten's in there?
Tuten's in there, yep.
Okay, so look, guys, this is it. This is the Cowboys draft plan. This is it right here. This is rounds. Brian, you could tell me if you think I'm wrong.
We played this game. It's funny. We did this on Love of the Star where I did this with Vach too on We're Doing All Right podcast on YouTube, is that I played this game with him like, who would you take and who do you think they'll take?
So I'll tell you what's happening here. This is a second or third round running back situation. This is the Cowboys not going first round. And I've said this over and over on different platforms. When I watched Omarion Hampton, I was the champion for Omarion Hampton. That was my guy. He was my second highest running back. My dream was to get him in the second round. And now it has shifted, and some of the big names are like putting him all the way up at 12. So now I am an Omarion Hampton hater. I was carrying his flag, and now I've folded that flag up and put it in my pocket, and I'm like, please do not do this in the first round. But if I had to guess draft range for all of these guys. I think Omarion Hampton, if we're going to factor in mock drafts from people like Mel Kiper, I guess his range is anywhere from 12 to the end of the first round. I don't want that. I would put him in the mix with TreVeyon Henderson and Quinshon Judkins more than I would put him in the mix with Ashton Jeanty. So I look at this list and I say, what I hope this would turn into would be TreVeyon Henderson in the second round. What could it turn into for them? I think it's the same. I don't love Quinshon Judkins, the other Ohio State running back in the second round, but it seems like that may be a thing that's happening. I like a little more juice in the second round running back. I like a little more. I'm gonna catch the ball and bust big plays, and I think Judkins is more of just a hammer. And I mean, he's a good hammer. You know, I'm gonna give you a scouting report nugget on Quinshon Judkins, Ohio State running back. He's too much of a hammer sometimes. Quinshon Judkins is not always trying to gain the most yards he can. It's like he'll break what do you refer to? We used to have this used to be a phrase you used, Brian, when we would be scouting. Guy who would be like, he'd lose track of that the game was happening because he really didn't like the guy across from him. Was it just like personal battle or whatever?
It's personal battles, yeah.
Quinshon Judkins will do the thing where it's like he might have a chance to break a big play, but also there is a
he turns it into a personal battle. Yeah.
And I could lower my head and see if I can hurt him and then talk shit to him. So why don't I do that instead? I like him. But yeah, I think these 4 visits tell me what we already suspected. Second, third round running back.
Yeah, and people in the chat are also asking, isn't Jeanty a Dallas Day guy? These are just 30 visit guys. So yeah, Jeanty is a 30 visit guy. So he would be a guy that they have met with, but we were just working off a 30 visit list right now. Dallas Day is a whole nother thing that we need to figure out. Is what
so they're visiting with Jeanty as well. He will be at the start.
He will be, yeah.
He'll be visiting. He just doesn't count.
He does not count on their 30 visits for this exercise today. We're just talking about 30 visit guys. And I got Hampton and Henderson in the second. I've got Judkins and Tuten in the third.
Yeah, and I think that's about right. I think Tuten is an interesting prospect as well. Actually, Airborne is in the super chat, so is Jeremy. But give me just a sec. Let us put a bow on these running backs before we move on. I think Mr. Tuten, man, at Virginia Tech is the most interesting running back prospect in the entire draft.
You don't know if he can catch the ball, do you?
Oh, I don't know if he can catch the ball. And
where some of these others you can. Some of these others, yeah.
Well, I also think that there's
scheme. It's scheme about him. I think he can catch it. I don't know how much. Like
their offense is gross to watch.
Yeah, you watch Allen from Syracuse. They throw him the ball. You know, you see that.
Well, so Tuten's got a couple of different things, which send him a couple of different ways for me, which is why I don't know how much, Brian, you care about other people's like rankings and stuff, but I see everybody's stuff. I look at everybody's stuff. Sure. There are people that love Bhayshul Tuten, Virginia Tech running back. There are people that love him, like top 3 or 4 back for them. There are people that do not, and he's their 23rd back. And I'm somewhere in the middle because I understand both points. Point number 1, he has real life track speed.
He does.
And a body that's built in there to help him run through or around tackles. So like his amount of big plays made per carry is really big. He will bust big plays, and he's got real life home run speed. He also, I think, does not see things very well.
Nope.
And puts the ball on the ground a lot, whether it's dropping the ball or fumbling the ball. And so I'm like, okay, I can see a world where he can catch the ball and where he does not lay the ball on the ground, and he starts to consistently see and feel the game better, and he's a stud. And I could see a world where you're like, well, crap, he missed the hole again. Oh, crap, he fumbled again. And so for me, I think I have him in the third, and that might feel high to me. Okay, I'm at the top of the fourth.
Top of the fourth?
He's got a lot of really good, and then he's got some stuff that I'm like, yeah, but I could also see it not working.
Yeah. 54% of his runs they consider breakaway runs.
He makes big plays.
Yeah, when you talk about 15 plus yard runs, he was one of the best in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of feel like his scheme is a problem for him.
You mean the fact that he just lines up side saddle with the quarterback and then they do this and toss it to him all the time?
Sidecar, inside handoff, and away we go. The thing about him is that I think his running style allows him to break tackles. You said that. He's kind of a built low to the ground guy. He's 5'9", he's 206. He's got a physical running style. Half of his games this season, Jeff, you brought this up. Half of his games this season, he had 75 yards after contact. So that just tells you that he is willing. I mean, he is a run into you and then run through you guy. I think as a pass catcher, like I said, I don't think they use him. I think there's so much of a limited route tree. I didn't see that where like, oh, throw him the ball and see. Most of these guys that get those screens, they throw the wheel, they throw the Texas route inside. But you mentioned it. He had 8 fumbles the last 2 seasons, and that's something. If you talk to people around the league, they'll tell you that the majority of his fumbles come from secondary contact. It's just not him putting it. So, take that for what it's all worth right there. But yeah, I have this kid in the bottom of the 3rd round as
same
one of my
ballpark.
guys. Yeah.
Airborne's in the super chat as we've made our way through the running backs on the Cowboys 30 visit list. TreVeyon, Henderson, Quinshon, Judkins, Omarion, Hampton, and I'm going to learn how to say it one day, but Bhayshul Tuten.
Mm-hmm.
First time catching you live, been listening since the show with Dane. Thanks for the great content. Nate Tice and father had the Oregon tackle very high. Tell me more, please. I also really like the Oregon tackle. His name is Josh Connerly. And the tackle in this draft that everybody really, really, really likes is Armand Membo at Missouri.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I have him and Josh Connerly very close together as like end of the first round kind of guys and not top 10 sort of guys.
Yeah.
But if I have my notes, I think what I liked the most about Connerly is he's one of the guys that when you are an offensive tackle and you've got just really fluid and easy and explosive ability to move, I love it. Like I'm not getting to my Connerly notes right now, but I know that what I really liked about him was just that it looked so easy for him getting away from the line and kind of mirroring people. And he might have to get a little more in his butt, a little stronger, but I like a lot about him.
These are the guys that I miss a lot. This guy right here, Josh Connerly, is a guy that I miss. I've got him, Membo, Banks. I have Banks at tackle. Membo, Banks, Connerly are my 3 guys in the 2nd round. But this is the guy I tend to miss on. And
I'm reading my notes, and these are the exact notes of the guys that you talk about all the time that you struggle with.
Every time.
It's
this is the guy. Yep. This is the guy that's 6'5" and he's 3'11", and he looks super comfortable in his pass set, and he plays with leverage, he plays with balance, he plays with hand use. His hands are usually winning first with the rusher. He's very smooth. He plays without stress. He's got footwork. But the problem is that he is not the strongest guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so that when you watch him, you could see some movement in the running game, and you see him where he's good is the pulling and things like that, the athletic stuff. But he's just not a dominant run blocker. And there's some times where he does get knocked aside. And if you kind of like the lighter type of player along an offensive line, this would be your guy. He's a good player that needs to develop strength. This is the guy that I'm wrong about 90% of the time. There are guys in the league that play just like Josh Connerly and have gone on to 11, 12, 13-year careers.
Yep.
It happens every year. There's a guy that looks great moving, can play in space, not strong. But usually I'll put those guys down the 3rd, 4th round. This guy I have in the 2nd round with kind of that group I mentioned with
there you go.
Membow, Banks, and him. So we'll see. Yeah,
it's learning, Bryan. You're learning. You're acknowledging something that was
I miss every year. Every year. There's probably 5 guys that are playing in the league. And I'll tell you another one too, the example of a guy that doesn't have a lot of power.
Boston College.
Boston College is my guy at Connecticut is the other one that Chase, you probably haven't seen Chase Luntz yet, have you?
Oh no, Bryan! You going to get into the 7th round offensive lineman, and
no. This guy's like a 4th round tackle. He's 6'8", 305. He from Connecticut. This guy's a fluid, twitchy guy, and covers a lot of ground. I mean, he's a good player. I mean, you'll see him. You watch him against North Carolina, he gets rocked a little bit, but then Tennessee holds his own. I mean, there's some quality games for this guy, but he is. And here's the last line of my notes. Have always had trouble with these lighter tackles, but have proved me wrong more than right. This player might be the same. Chase Lund, tackle from Connecticut. Same type of guy.
Growth. We'd love to see growth, Bryan. Jeremy's in the super chat. Really, Jeff? No Hampton? Not at 12. Omarion Hampton at 12 is way too rich for me. Bryan, do you disagree with that or agree with that?
I got him as a 2nd round guy. So I actually me personally, I like Johnson better than him. I mean, they're right there, but I like Johnson.
It's Caleb
better.
Johnson, man. And if people were trying to get Caleb Johnson at 12, you would tell them, stop it, right?
No, I wouldn't do that at 12, no.
Jake Jones, say if T-Mac, Golden, and Genty gone by 12, who's the next player offensive weapon you would pick? Hampton, who is this, Book or Burden?
It's funny.
Hampton would be dead last on that list for me.
See, they brought all 3 of those wide receivers in.
Let's do that. Let's keep it moving. 30 visits for the Cowboys that we know so far. We gave you the running backs, and now where are we going next?
McMillen, Burden, and Egbuka were all 30 visit guys. So there was some whispers that maybe that they wouldn't like Egbuka. Now I've heard that nothing with Burden.
Okay.
I heard
nobody's going to not like Egbuka.
No. Burden is the one that people have struggled with because they've talked about that maybe there's a diva factor to him. Maybe he's a hard guy to get along with, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, because CeeDee Lamb really lacks confidence. So do all the other top receivers.
I think that, to me, that I kind of feel like that he is going to be a really, really good player for somebody, but I didn't hear anything terminal like domestic violence or alcoholism or drug use or any of that stuff with Burden. So I'm glad that. Okay, Robert asks in the chat, why no Golden? I'm working off 14 names right now. There's a possibility there's 16 other names, but so far I would like to believe that if Golden was a visit here, we would have probably heard about it.
Yeah.
So I maybe they might be not showing their hand. Is he a Dallas Day guy? I didn't see where Golden.
Houston was his first college. Let me see if we can find where he went to high school. He went to he was born in Houston. Okay, so he's
out. He's out. Yeah, if he's out, born in Houston, he's out.
Yeah.
So he would have to be a 30 visit guy if you were to bring him in. So yeah.
Now I don't know if this is just me putting the way that I would like to see this play out into the equation, but I do think it makes sense that with some of the names you're saying, including Omarion Hampton and then Egbuka, Burden, based on what other humans are saying,
trade back.
Boy, I'm seeing a lot of names that would sound real good at 18 to 25. Luther Burden's the one that's gotten lost in the sauce, and honestly, I don't get it. I don't
either because I've got Hunter as a wide receiver. So Hunter, McMillen, Burden, Egbuka are my 4 guys, or my 4 guys in the first round, and then Golden's my first player in the second. So Golden on my board would be somewhere between 16, 17, 18, somewhere right around there. I have to figure out where that one's at.
That's where all those guys are for me. And for Burden, I mean, unless it is the fact that it was like a universal movement of him from the insider people where it's like top 10 player, top 15, top 20, early second round, mid second round. Like people are hearing something and I don't know what it is and I'm not worried about it. But like the guy on tape, that should not be dropping. That should not. He is right there with McMillen and Egbuka and Golden and whoever. Like he's right there.
Totally agree.
So, if the Cowboys find their way into a trade down situation and Luther Burden ends up on the Cowboys, I won't know whatever the people's questions were about him, but I will tell people like this sucker can play. And don't get fooled by just 2024 where he's always playing in the slot and the route tree is limited. Their offense sucked. They sucked.
I think a lot of people in the chat are not interested in. By the way, Burden is small. Burden's 6'206." To just answer that question.
Burden's not small at all, and Burden is not going to get credit for. Like he's one of the guys that you do have to project. There's things he can do that he did not do last year on the field because they had terrible quarterback play and they couldn't block. Like they were a bad team. And so it's like, okay, how are we going to get him the ball? We're going to get him in motion going out and we're going to snap the ball and we're going to toss it to him right now. And it's like they couldn't figure out how to do anything. You could go back to 2022 and you could see him playing outside and running routes. And like, I think there is more in there than you throw him screens and slot fades. And like, there's more in there. That dude has the physical abilities to be a route running dude. I wouldn't, it's not in the scouting report that this guy is a great and nuanced route runner, but the way he moves and runs, he can be. Burden can be the best receiver in this class. Don't write off Luther Burden. I'm just telling you. Don't do it. Don't you do it. Let me see here. I want to knock out this super chat. Does every team have a Dallas Day type thing where they can bring in guys that went to school in their area? Answer is yes. And I made the joke
from that area. They have to be. It's a radius of. It used to be 50 miles when I was in scouting. They might have expanded it a little more, but yeah, they basically could bring in kids from the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
And my joke,
if they're born here,
my joke on the show on Friday, Brian, was like it's a huge advantage for the Cowboys because just the number of people in that radius that are going to play in the NFL, like that they get to visit for free without using a visit is huge. There's a bunch of them this year.
Miami, Los Angeles, Atlanta, all huge markets.
Has Green Bay ever had a local day?
Never. We've actually gone. I remember going to Wisconsin University and working out players there. Just the state showed up at a deal, but no, we never had a Packer day. We never did.
Because there's how many people qualify that are going to get drafted every year? Zero. Yeah, it's funny. It's funny how that all works. It really is. It seems incredibly unfair, but as a person who covers the Cowboys, it seems very fair because I appreciate that they get it all. All right, so that's 7 names down if I've got it right, Brian. 4 running backs, 3 receivers on the Cowboys 30 visit list.
Jonah from Zona, the guard, was a visit.
Yeah.
Banks attack. Yeah.
Okay.
Sella, you know.
I got Savaiinaea.
Yeah, exactly. Jonah from Zona, Banks from Texas, were offensive linemen. You got those?
Yeah, dude, they want to trade back so bad in this draft.
Nolen from Ole Miss.
Dude, they want to trade back in this draft so bad.
Who else we got? Nolen, Collins, the one technique from Texas.
There's your 2nd round pick. 3rd if you get lucky.
Yeah, Stewart, Shemar Stewart, the 3 technique from Texas A&M.
Okay, stop the show. Because they have another guy named Shemar Stewart is the edge one, right? And their other Shemar is the D tackle.
Well, they have an edge. They have this is I'm sorry.
Shemar Stewart's the combine freak.
You're right. Turner's the other guy.
Yeah, Turner's the D tackle. So Shemar Stewart. It has to be brought up, Brian. It has to be.
Mm-hmm.
Could Shemar Stewart be picked at 12?
I wouldn't, but they could.
I mean, he gets a sack and a half every year, but he is the perfect build and the perfect athlete, and that is the sort of guy that gets overdrafted so hard and works out sometimes. And I will tell you, I fear that could happen. I fear that could be your pick. In which case, I just need to be wrong.
They all went to A&M. They all went to that A&M. They all went to the A&M Pro Day. All the head coach and Will and all those guys went down there for that. They were looking at all those guys. By the way, folks, I've got the combine sheets right here. Okay. Burden is 6 foot. He's 206. Okay. Stop saying nobody said he was 6'2". Nobody says he's 5'11". He's officially measured.
Are you fighting? Are you fighting the chat right now? Are you
I'm tired of people that fight when I actually have the right information. How about that?
You guys trying to fight Bryan on a Monday?
No, I just wanted to make sure that people are like they're kind of, he's 5'11". He's officially 6 foot tall. Combine measurements.
You guys, right there. Y'all on a Monday? No less.
I don't know. I just have to. Sometimes I have to do this today. Some days I have to. But yeah, Stewart's on that list. I myself could not take him at 12. I don't know why.
Well, you don't know why you couldn't, or you don't know why someone would.
I don't. The A&M kids on the defensive line are like the tackles that don't have strength. Probably going to be wrong about it.
Yeah, I mean, Shemar Stewart is definitely the one that.
Here we go. Yeah, okay. I'm done. I'm getting trolled now, so I'm going to stop.
Oh, the guy who said Google it?
Yeah, the guy.
Yeah, would you please stop fighting with people who are just typing in wrong information?
I'm sorry. I got trolled. My apologies to everybody out there. I'm just trying to be. Yeah, I actually have the sheets from the combine, but don't let that bother you. Don't let that get in the way.
I got Burden listed at 6'8", 247. That's where I got him. Yeah, so Shemar Stewart is one of the most unique players in the class because he has no college production whatsoever.
None.
And now people's defense of it is they're starting to talk about pressures. And I will tell you that he did have a decent number of pressures, not a ton. He didn't affect games in the way that people are pretending. And the pressures that he did have, I don't think that that's even necessarily a good thing because he couldn't finish. Like Shemar Stewart was in a position to make a lot of plays.
Yeah.
Could not finish.
Yeah.
And that's just like, you're talking about a really rich pick and you're just picking an athlete. Yeah. And I get it that we play a sport where you want to be the better athlete in your matchup. And it is important to be super athletic. Oh, I struggle with a sack and a half every year. If you are the best athlete on the field, how are you not kicking everyone's ass? That one's hard for me, but that athlete will be a first-round pick. Maybe a top half of the round.
Scorton, all those guys Scorton was a guy that was a top 5 pick and Scorton. Yeah, so saying Scorton was better at Purdue. Nolen got better when he transferred out. I mean, I have a legitimate problem with the Texas A&M kids. I really do. I don't feel like that. I'm just telling you what I see on tape, and the assessment you just gave, I think is absolutely right. I mean, yeah, if you're going to take a guy at 12 with that to me seems like you're, especially with potential. See, this is the things that I get into about the Will Johnsons and those others. I just have better on my board. It's a selfish thing. I'm admitting it. I'm selfish. I'm admitting it. I want my guys to get drafted. It's a selfish thing. It's a scouting thing. But they don't care what I think, And I'm going to say, hey, listen, I didn't have that guy this high. It's Stewart's that way. I don't have him that high. Not to take it 12.
Yeah. There's a guy that says I'm looking old. Or no, he said I need a couple more hours of sleep. It's true. You can really see below the eyes. Problem is I've done Botox a couple times in my life, but I won't let them go below the eyes because I feel like once you start altering below the eyes, you start looking like a fake person. And so I just have to embrace aging, Bryan. I have to embrace that I am an almost 41-year-old man, despite my lack of maturity, my lack of success in love life or making children, my uncertainty about my future and what I'm meant to do in this world, all of those things, I just have to embrace them.
You're a good person, though, Jeff. You're a really good person.
I thank you, and I think
you got a good heart. You got a good heart for somebody.
You're right, and I don't know if that's a throwaway compliment, but
no, absolutely not. It's not. You're a good person. You're a good person. You're good to work with.
Did we get all 14? 4 running backs,
No,
3 receivers,
no,
2 offensive
didn't.
linemen, 2 D linemen, 1 edge. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you've given me
We
12.
got 2. Yeah, and I got to give you Revel, the corner from East Carolina.
Yeah, second round.
And I got to give you Mukuba, safety from Texas.
Where do you have him? Second or third?
Second.
Okay. Well, Brian, that gets us to all 14 names that we know at the moment, and we'll just keep them tracking.
So no, that's what I'm trying to. I'm trying to get on these names because I want to make sure that I have all these guys watched on tape. So far, I'm good with all these guys, but I'd like to know that. Maybe a few Dallas Day guys too would kind of help along the way.
Yeah, I'm up to 386 guys. How about you?
I looked at player 196 this morning.
There's nothing better than watching Brian's reaction when you pretend you've seen as many guys as he has. Like, I know you're lying and it's messed up. You shouldn't do that.
Oh man, you're good. If I have a question, I know who to call.
All right, Brian, thank you. It's another, oh crap, anything on safety. Here's a super chat. We've had DQ and Chris Richard in the building. Still don't know what an Earl Thomas can do for your team. You want Earl Thomas, draft Xavier Watts.
Yeah.
If you want a free safety, I mean, also look, Mukuba can cover.
I'm a big fan of Mukuba. I'm a big fan of Watts. I think if you go a little further down, Winston from Penn State would be a guy that I would really, really like. Yeah, I think the safety board at top of it is better than the safety board at the. I know people. The Amanawari kid from South Carolina tested really, really well.
Good player, middle of the second round, not at 15.
If you go down to a little further, maybe in the 4th round, Dallas doesn't have a 4th, of course. Sanker from Virginia, Castro from Iowa, Ransom from Ohio State are guys you need to.
Ransom will hit the hell out of you, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he will. He will.
Brian, just quickly, have you seen a Kansas tackle named Logan Brown?
I have.
Oh, crap. All right. Do you love him or hate him? And what round's he in? Because we got to go.
Okay, hang on. Do we give you a report real quick, or you get it?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to thumbnail it up, Brian put in a super chat asking for it.
Oh, did okay? Hold on just a second. I did. Let me get to my notes on him real quick, if I could. Yeah, Logan Brown, Kansas, 6'6", 311. Started at Wisconsin. He's kicked off the squad after fighting his teammate at Wisconsin.
Brian?
He's a starter at right tackle for the Jayhawks. He's made starts at left and right tackle. He's got a well-rounded overall build, 6'6", 311. He looks good. He could when he gets one-on-one, he could drive block, or when he has the angle, he could down block. He's a pretty good has athletic ability and movement. He does a really nice job of staying connected to his man in the running game. I kind of like him as a puller and getting up on linebackers. The size, the length help him as a pass protector. He played with some balance and some quickness. There's times where he gets a little off balance, but not a lot. He has to be careful not to overset as a pass protector. He'll kick too wide, and then he has to scramble back in position, and his legs get a little straight. This kid was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school, and he ran a 5.15 at the combine, 32-inch vertical. I really do like his size, and I do like his movement for the position. And where I put him, I put Logan Brown in the 4th round. I've got Lunt, Emory Jones, Cam Williams, and Logan Brown. And then Belton. Those are all my 4th round tackles.
Thank you, Brian. Great job. Opera Doc. Hey, stop sending in super chats because we have to go. With no 4th round pick, what do we need to push to the 5th round? If you don't have the right running back, just wait to the 5th round on that one.
Ooh, how about that? I don't know. I don't know if you want to wait. I don't know now.
That? How about that? Trevor Etienne will do the job just fine. Let's just not even worry about it. We'll just go in the 5th round. Okay, we got to go. Brian, thank you. Another edition of Trusted Tape is in the books. It's always good to see you.
Hey, Brian.
And to everybody else out there, good talk. See ya.